Before we get this video underway, I would like to go over some things I would like to say first. I do not condone harassment nor bullying about the user I will be talking about. Please do not send hate towards the user in question or persons in the Discord. My goal is to bring attention to a problem, not fight fire with fire. Trigger warning. During the video, there will be coarse language, offensive subjects, and sensitive issues. If you feel anything discussed in this video will trigger you, please do not watch this video. Mental health comes first. I will be censoring a good chunk of them using my trusty mute bars and a quack sound effect. Here's one quack, and another, quack quack quack. This video will not be monetized due to its offensive nature. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, and more. This video falls under fair use. I am sure you as a viewer know that I am a gaming channel, but this will not be a gaming video. This video isn't about the video game Ark, but about the Ark unofficial Discord community. How can one person single-handedly create a toxic environment and instill negative feelings around a massive video game? Today, we will be looking at one such person. Here's a quick preview on what I will be showing in this video. Spork violates his own rules. For example, no political or religious discussions. Spork bans anyone, no matter what the rules say. There's 4,693 bans on this entire server that haven't been deleted. And he is known to also delete his bans as well. Keep them hidden. It's only June 9th right now, and it's going to be worse tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Spork's actions could even cause a financial loss for Ark. Between the dates May 27th and June the 7th, there was a DLC that released. Spork banned 166 people. Now, if we divide that by 11, that's about 15 people a day. And we divide it by 11 because that's how many days that were in between those dates. Even if one person out of the 15 people that are banned a day has a negative experience with Ark, negative feedback spreads farther and quicker than positive feedback. He's not just affecting one person out of that 15. There's going to be people that are going to not recommend Ark to other players because people are not going to buy Ark and they're not going to buy Wildcard's future games. It's inevitable because Spork is ruining the reputation of Ark. This Discord moderator is known as Spork. He is the head moderator of this Discord and is the primary one who talks in the chat. This video, we will be talking about his actions and how they influence the Ark community. We will return to him shortly, but let me go over some history about this Discord server first. For years, this community has grown and grown because many gamers use Discord to communicate with friends. Wildcard, the creators of Ark, must have taken notice to this and created their own official Discord in September of 2020, which I find fantastic. But the unofficial Ark Discord server still exists and threatens to create hatred for Ark. The unofficial Ark Discord server has most likely been around since Ark launched in early access, which was in 2015. I scrolled up all the way to their server news channel and noticed the earliest post was in April of 2018. The first message up there from Wiz says, due to unforeseen circumstances, we've moved the Discord to a new one so that managing it could be made easier. Feel free to message the Overseer bot if you have any further questions. They had a Discord before this. That could have been up to the start of early access of Ark. I do not know the official start of this community, but as you can see, it looks like a very welcoming server. Back in June of 2018, when I first started playing Ark, I joined this server. I actually posted one of my playthrough videos around that time. This was the only server that had a large population of Discord users who played Ark. If you wanted to advertise to other players to join your server, this was the place to be. If you wanted to find a server, this was the place to be. However, it was moderated by a user that everyone knew, Spork Witch. There was a huge decline in his behavior towards Discord users, regardless if they were there to troll or just talk about Ark. It started off with him saying fairly rude things to other users every now and then. Some examples are on screen now. Some of them are extremely inappropriate for a moderator to say. With him being the moderator, no one can do anything about it because you really just can't tell a moderator to follow his own rules, or you risk access to this Discord server. Again, it's the only server at the time that was big enough and everyone there played Ark. Fast forward to 2019, he was getting worse. There was a lot more action taken against other users in the Discord. Roughly every day, you would see someone getting warned, muted, or banned. Half of it might have been genuine. The rest, not really. He was also getting a lot more radical with his texts. He was also violating a lot of his own rules, which we will cover in great detail, but we will do that later. Now, 2020, 2021, and to this day, Spork has gotten worse and worse. Every day, someone is getting banned, someone is getting muted, and if not that, you're getting warned. And it's not just happening to one or two people. It's affecting hundreds of people a week. It's probably in the 20s every day because that's all you see in the chat from now on. Later on, I do a calculation from a certain date of May the 27th to I think June the 7th. And I calculate that 15 people are banned a day. And that's only the bans. I'm not even including the mutes and the warns. But I will cover that in great detail later. It's also happening in every text channel. General, off-topic, Epic Games support, spoilers, screenshots, bot junk. I would have to say, everyone is afraid of saying anything that would get them punished. You will get punished for asking questions about Ark on this server about Ark. Because Spork believes you can just Google it or look in the announcements channel. For example, as we can see, Sasuke Uchiha said, "Is Gen 2 out for Steam?" For context, he's saying this because Wildcard is known for delaying some of their DLCs whenever they come out. So obviously, you'll get people who are going to be asking this question. But at this point in time, it is out. Someone linked it to go back to the Ark announcements. However, Sporkwitch did a command! Warnings for Sasuke. Spork was checking whether or not Sasuke had any previous punishments. He did not. Which Spork did another command! Warn Sasuke. Refusal to read, playing. Sasuke has been warned. People are punished for asking Ark questions. Yes, it's in the announcements channel. But calling someone dumb and warning them publicly for asking if the DLC has been released since it was the release day, it's completely disrespectful. Just give them the answer that it is out. Don't have to warn them. This is not the only thing Spork punishes people for. On March 31st of 2021, Spork was having a banning craze that day. For context, there was an update that was disallowing PC players to play on Ark because of a Windows update. I will go into more detail in a few minutes. I would just like to cover this part first. The first message I saw from Spork was this. So Sporkwitch said, "At Gen X0, you can take your attitude and flagrant disregard for rules and staff instruction and shove it up your like your father should have done instead of inflicting you on the world." Now, first off, how can a moderator say that? Someone in a professional nature like this is saying that to someone who's a part of their Discord. It doesn't matter if this person has done anything bad. No one has any right to say that. That wasn't even a ban. That was just Spork replying to Gen X0. Spork is also representing Ark. Yes, this is an unofficial Discord, but still, you're representing Ark. Unfortunately, I don't know what Gen X0 said because Spork deleted it using a command known as purge 10 or purge 4 or anything like that. That means it deletes the most recent messages. So purge 10 would delete 10 messages or 4 would delete 4. Let's continue. A couple lines down, he does ban at Gen X0 7 troll ping for no reason, disputing moderation in public channels, flagrant disregard for rules and staff. Again, is this slander needed? Do you understand that this person now has a negative experience with the unofficial Ark Discord server? If this person doesn't understand that this server is the unofficial one, this is not a representative of the official ARK server, this person might not understand that this person is not a part of ARK. Who's taking the fall here? ARK is. And is calling them the R word really necessary? Like, do you really need to say the R word like that? Is it really that necessary? It is not. That is the correct response. It is not necessary. If you're going to be professional, you don't do that. People get offended easily. Kids, especially. This is an ARK server. There's kids playing this game. I wouldn't want my kid reading any of this on a server. If I was the parent of my kid playing ARK and seeing this on his computer, I would refund the game, or I would force the kid not to play ARK, because I probably wouldn't even know that this is not a person a part of the ARK Discord server. Imagine a 13-year-old just playing ARK, wanting to find a server, joins this server, and then sees this on their screen. The parent over the shoulder watching and seeing that as well. What is that parent gonna do? How's the reputation going to be in their eyes about ARK? Are they ever going to think, is this actually what ARK is saying? That parent won't buy future purchases from Wildcard because of that. Even if it's one person every day, or every week, that spreads like a virus, because negative feedback spreads farther and quicker than positive feedback. Spork is ruining the reputation of ARK. Now let's go back to that video again. If we go up one message here, we can see something from Cobalt Man. He said, "Thanks, man. This guy's so rude. I didn't even do anything wrong." If we also look up 2 messages, Cobalt Man said, "Bro, I replied to you." And then if we look up another 3, or we can see that Cobalt Man replied to Spork and said, "Can you give a tip or sir, ma'am?" Because Cobalt Man replied to Spork, he right-clicked Spork's message and clicked reply. If we go down one message from that, it says, "!warn Cobalt Man, ping for no reason." Because Cobalt Man replied, he right-clicked his message and clicked reply, Cobalt Man got punished and got warned. You don't scold someone for replying to you. And that's not the end of it. Another user has been warned. Patty was warned, disputing moderation in public channels. Patty probably said something along the lines of, "Why are you warning and banning these people or muting these people?" This person was probably sticking up to what was going on. However, because Patty said that in the general chat, rather than messaging their bot, Patty got warned. And then the next line down, we can see that there was a conversation between Patty and Spork. So Spork said, and yes, being enough to do what multiple people just got warned for is trolling at that point. Now, before you join your fellow, and then Patty got muted. !mute. Whatever their Discord ID is, 7 days, troll, disputing moderation in public channels, playing, and Patty got muted for a week. And of course, this person is no longer a part of this Discord server. However, Patty is a part of the official server, the official ARK server, which is fantastic. Join the official ARK server. Leave this one. It's a toxic environment that nobody needs to be a part of. Now that we're on the topic of the ARK official server as well, I'm a part of both. So I'm a part of their ARK official server. I'm also a part of their charity server that they do sometimes on streams. And I'm a part of this unofficial one. I can click on users and see the mutual servers. I would say a good chunk of people here are not a part of the official server. Now, I kept asking myself, why is that? Why haven't they looked and found the ARK official one? Well, it's because they don't know. People in this server do not know that this is the unofficial one. Why? Well, let's take a look at the top left corner. It says ARK Survival Evolved. It is not unofficial ARK Survival Evolved. If we also look at the announcements channel and compare it to the official one, it is a complete copy. Using the bottom left thing in the official ARK Discord server, if you follow this channel, you can get updates in your own server. Because of this, because the official ARK Discord server has done this, Spork is able to copy and paste it into his own Discord, the unofficial one. So it looks like it's the official one. Why would you have anybody looking for the official one if they don't believe that there is another one? That this is the only one? And how is a 14, 13, 15, 16-year-old really just going to know better? We adults can probably understand that we can see this clearly, and we can make a judgment that we're going to join the official ARK server rather than the unofficial one. But kids, no. Spork's unofficial server needs to state that it's unofficial, or at least say something different than just ARK Survival Evolved. It looks official when you do that. If it has the name unofficial in the title, people won't be as offended when Spork decides to do something to them, because they'll know this is the unofficial one. It's not the official ARK server. Kids will not be able to get offended. They would also know that this is not the actions of what ARK would do to their players. Let me show you more of Spork's disreputable behavior. So I caught this live and took a screenshot. However, it's no longer in the server because Spork has deleted it. So Mex decided to quote that line we talked about earlier, about what multiple people just did in the chat. Mex replied and said, ableist. If you do not know what that means, it means the discrimination of people with disabilities on the belief that typical abilities are superior. Spork decided to reply and give Mex a mute and even called him. So he did !mute at Mex 24 hours. Troll disputing moderation in public channels. Ping for no reason. And what I just showed you was only in one day. And there's still more that has happened on this day. This happens every day. Something like this happens every day. But most of the time, Spork deletes the evidence of it. It's hard to gather this evidence because when you just delete it, you can't just go back to a changelog or anything like that. There's no such thing on Discord. But do we really believe that many people are going to be trolling in a day? That many people just being evil on a Discord server, on a populated one? I really don't think so. And I'm sure some of these are genuine, but I'm sure a lot of them are not. And here is another example. April 1st. So this was on the same day of what I showed you, but this one was earlier in the morning. For context, today an update was supposed to drop for Windows 10 so that the Excellent event can be played. So this is the Easter event. However, Windows and Wildcard were having an issue. So people had to wait for a Windows update to come out because it had to pass certification. So where are all the players going to go to figure out what's going on? What's happening? They're going to go to Google. They're going to go to the Discords as well. So as you can see, Spork goes on a banning, warning, and muting frenzy. And Spork decided to ban people because you can just Google it. This is an ARK server where you can ask ARK questions. Spork decided to say, what's the point of Google and an announcements channel if lazy, entitled won't use them? No, my job as an admin is to keep this place running smoothly, not be your personal Google. So he did the first warn. ! Warn at C, trolling, playing, refusal to Google or read announcements, disputing moderation in public channels. And then there was another. Trolling, playing, refusal to Google or read announcements. And then there was another. And then the first person, Seed, ban, Seed, 7, troll, playing, refusal to Google or read announcements. And then if you notice right at the bottom there, someone else just asked, anyone know when the update is coming out for Windows 10? It goes on and on. It's endless. You're going to have people coming into the chat always asking, is the Windows 10 thing out? Even though it's in ARK announcements, or even though in the announcements channel, that it's waiting to pass certification right now for the Windows 10 update. Before we go to the announcements channel, take a look at the time. Spork decided to ban, mute, and warn people at 7:14 a.m. Now let's go to the announcements channel. As you can see, right at the bottom there, if you look at the top of the announcements channel here, it says the Excellent Adventures 6 is currently planned for the usual deployment times, 1 p.m. PDT, which is the same as the time shown on screen. So it was going to be at 1 p.m. Now, if we scroll down on the page, yesterday at 1:20 p.m., it says for PC, just a note, we're running a little behind on Mac, Linux, so it will be another hour for that client to be available to download. Now, do you remember when Spork started banning and warning people? Let's go back to it. Oh, 7:14 a.m. Let's go back to the announcements. There wasn't even an update out yet. At that time, there was actually nothing posted about the Excellent Adventure pack. Just that it was coming. Just that there was something about it coming for April 14th and March 31st. That it was coming from March 31st. There is no specific time stated. The only thing that was stated, it was going to be for March 31st. So Spork was actually going on a banning frenzy when he shouldn't have been. Because this was all around 7 to 7:30 a.m. And then there was no update until at 9:07 p.m. stating, we are waiting on the Windows 10 Excellent Adventure patch to clear certification. There's no ETA at the moment. So in all honesty, there was no information available. There was no information about it. So he banned, muted, and warned everyone and called everyone the R word. Also, if I haven't stated this already, this patch disallowed players to play on Ark. You couldn't even go onto any multiplayer maps. Can't go on official, and you couldn't go on unofficial servers. So obviously anybody who has the day off and they want to play some Ark, they're going to be panicking. And even if you're playing on single player, all the mods, they're going to be outdated. Do you want to load up your single player world with outdated mods? Like, there's going to be glitches because this game is glitchy. I'm sure there'll be some people that would. I'm not even sure if it would work on single player, but the majority of Ark players play on multiplayer. So of course, Spork is creating animosity towards Ark, because he wants to punish people who do not use Google or read announcements, even though there was nothing in announcements that was stated. A good moderator would have posted stating, we have the information about said patch located in the announcements tab. That moderator could even copy and paste that for future people asking down the line. Now, I just wanted to show you something that Spork was talking about in the general chat with someone else. And I wanted to show you that Spork actually doesn't know the answer, but he just wants you to use Google or use announcements. But he will go out of his way to tell you to use Google or announcements. It's just this situation I'm about to show you is sincerely just dumb. Here it is. So this guy, Carcass, he said, yo guys, wait, is he a part of this server anymore? No. He's not even a part of this server anymore. He's on the official, which is good. Don't be a part of this one. So he said, well, if I move away from the textures, they turn pixelated and disappear. So as you can see, he posted his picture. That's how Ark renders stuff. What? But no one else had this issue. Every game renders with a different way. Carcass said, like so, stuff just loads in as you run towards it. It never used to happen on my worst PC, which is LODs. The easiest way to explain LODs is in Skyrim. Things in the distance. I'm sure you guys have seen stuff like that. Put your render distance higher. Spork said, check your LOD and related settings. Carcass says, it's maxed. And then this guy said, I don't know how I can help you then. And then Carcass said, is it here? Let's take a look. High quality LODs. Yeah, I would say this guy has turned it on. But, what? Yeah, he's got LODs. I don't know what they're talking about. And he said, like my PC isn't particularly bad, I feel like it should be able to load textures quickly. And it doesn't load like that on Xbox and never did before. And then he replied to check your LOD and related settings to Spork. And Carcass said, or is it in NVIDIA control panel? Spork said, if you have settings in there, that would override it. I'm not going to boot up the game and hold the mouse over each setting to figure it out for you. I told you what types of settings to look at. Use some critical thought. What the hell, Spork? It's just being rude. And Carcass says, that's why I'm confused though. All LOD settings are at highest. And I agree, they are. And then Spork said, not sure what you think highest means when you literally have one enabled that lowers quality. Are you meaning low quality level streaming, Spork? High quality LODs are on. Low level streaming is off. What are you even saying, Spork? Carcass said, wait, which? Spork which said, use brain. Then Carcass said, I don't know if I hover over them, it says nothing. Spork which then says, then Google it or pay me to do your thinking for you. Spork, what's that kind of request? I've Googled it. Honestly, at this point, I would pay. I turned off every single setting in here and turned them off and did nothing. Carcass, do not pay him. What are you thinking? And then Carcass said, bruh, I've turned off every setting one by one, turned each one on and made no difference. Sporkwitch said, good for you. Not my job to think for you. I told you where to look. I am not your slave, nor am I Google. Oh, here comes the Google part again. Great. And then Carcass said, I did look where you said, and it did nothing. So Sporkwitch replied, sucks to be you then. Off and stop wasting my time, and people wonder why I don't answer questions. I think answering one question means I'm volunteering to be your geek squad. Want me to do everything for you? $50 an hour cash up front. Okay, first off, Spork, you did not give him the answer anyways, because he doesn't have low quality level streaming enabled. There's nothing else here that he's got high quality LODs load. What are you? Oh my god. Why did Carcass know? Why'd you say I'll do that? As we can tell, Sporkwitch wants a Discord server where he can just berate people, insult them. That's all this server is for him. Spork obviously doesn't know the answer. So why does he need to say that? So what we've learned today is that in order to get an answer out of him, you would need to pay him to answer it. This is an entitled mindset. Just because you're in a moderator position doesn't mean you need to be entitled. Let's go back to the Windows 10 topic that I spoke about earlier. More people came into the chat and asked, where is this Windows 10 update for Arc? So this new guy in the chat asks, anyone know when the update is coming to Windows 10? Spork's reply is a couple of dots. The guy's reply, oh, I've seen announcement, Spork. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, I've seen it now. Thank you anyway, though. Have a good one. So about an hour later, someone else asked about another user about the Windows 10 update. So we can start with Gruff202. Where is this Windows 10 update? It's been released on console for hours. Is there an ETA at least? Sporkwitch replies saying, ask Microsoft. Gruff replies saying, is there an ETA at least? Sporkwitch says, would I know? Gruff202 says, I'm assuming someone in the Arc Discord would know. No need to get defensive. Sporkwitch says, not defensive. Serious question. Why the would I know? Anything you don't. Oh right, because unlike you, I'm not to read the announcements, channel, or use Google. Gruff202 says, I did use Google and the announcement, but I thought maybe someone had an ETA or something. Sorry for making you pissed, G. I read the post from the devs, but figured someone that has no connection to the devs would know more. He replies and says, you need to chill, dog, lol. So Sporkwitch replies and says, need to pull their heads out of there. Warn Gruff playing ping for no reason. What I don't get is why Gruff just said you need to chill. So Spork got angry and warned him. And then the next line down, he said, LMFAO warned me for asking a question. Nice. So then Sporkwitch, he mutes him for an hour. He says he's playing ping for no reason, disputing moderation. I just find this so odd. Because he could have used that line that I spoke about earlier, or he could have just not replied at all and let the community reply instead. And again, why is it so necessary for him to swear so much? Kids play Arc. Kids can sign up for Discord. I would not want my kid to be looking at this. This is extremely vulgar. And I'm sure some of these guys he's been arguing with are just kids. And I'm sure this man's not in his 20s or 30s. He might be even older than that. Why does he need to argue with children and get them upset and make these kids hate Arc? It's absurd. Even with that chat, there's more people down the line that are still asking, where is this update? And then we can see that Spork is doing more mutes and more bans because of it. Because people aren't reading the announcements. Just link it to the announcements or just ignore them. Let the other players just respond to them. And this is like a server, an Arc server, where you can ask Arc questions. Yet people are punished for that. So obviously you're going to form a hatred for Ark, because you can't aim it at Spork, because there's nothing you can really do to Spork, unless you're like me and make a video about Spork, about all of his atrocious actions. I really do shake my head at this. Like, I'm editing this right now, and I'm still shaking my head at this. The entire recording of this, I was shaking my head at this. I'm still shaking my head at this. It's just when I think of Spork, I think of a Spork that's selling on Amazon for $12.99. No, I don't look at Sporks on a regular basis. I just searched that up. But I'm just trying to imagine Spork, like his angry eyes looking at the Discord and be like, oh, this guy is asking an Ark question. I'm going to ban him and I'm going to call him the R word. All because he didn't use Google or read the announcements channel. It's just hard to imagine an angry utensil looking at a screen and just trying to punish people who don't deserve to be punished. This Spork is completely self-entitled and utterly arrogant. So while I was gathering some more evidence, I noticed Spork was typing in the general chat. I pulled out my phone to get some footage live. Unfortunately, I only have screenshots. It does prove my point that Spork uses the purge command as well. Here's the first screenshot I got. Please keep in mind, it says 1:15 p.m. up on the top left corner there. And as you can see, it says today at 1:15 p.m. for some of these messages. This new user who stated he just bought the game. Unfortunately, I thought I screenshotted it, but I didn't. I do follow up with him in DMs, and I do find out that he is a new user to Ark, and he just got the game. So Spork decided to reply, and was extremely rude, as you can see. So, Wagon said, never mind, chat is dead. Fam, anyone from Scotland? Laughing faces, I'm gonna dip. Ollie is Hokage said, nope, chat really dead though. Sporkwitch said, not full of cancer and spam, crossed out equals dead. Wagon Kieto said, he added Sporkwitch and said, all I want is conversation. Nobody's talking to me, no point trying. Laughing face, laughing face. Sporkwitch says, so start a conversation instead of asking a survey to which most people won't respond. Wagon Kieto said, nah, I'm good fam. Sporkwitch says, then don't complain no one's talking when you're not even trying to start a conversation. Wagon said, why would I start a conversation with no topics since you said people don't like surveys, winky face. So Sporkwitch, obviously we can tell this guy's getting under Sporkwitch's nerves. And he said, you're a special kind of stupid, aren't you? At this point in time, I screenshot it again. It's still 1:15 p.m. So Wagon said, cute. And he was typing again. So I was waiting for his reply since he was typing, but all I saw next was this. Exclamation mark, purge 5. Deleted 5 messages. So he deleted the most recent messages. This was a purge command, and Wagon is no longer in the server. I can't at him because he was banned. But I don't see a command. There's no command. He soft banned him. So I followed up with him in a private message and said, yo Wagon, did Spork ban you from the unofficial Discord server? He said, think so. Laughing face, laughing face. He said something rude, so I said cute, then got banned. So already we can tell he did not leave on his own accord. He believes he got banned. And I said, do you know why? I was catching some screenshots. Yep, caught that part. Oh, I believe he deleted one of these messages here. Oh well. And then he said weird. So I said, unfortunately, he's being an unjust moderator, banning people outside of his rules whenever he feels like it. And then he said, indeed, it does, buddy. He said, don't ask questions, but you have to ask questions so people talk. Like, he's big on contradicting his own rules. He is so big on contradicting his own rules, it's unbelievable. And then I confirmed to him below, and I said, you said you are new to Ark. And he said, yep, I am indeed, man. So a person representing Ark is pissing off new players? You know, if it's within the time frame, this guy could just refund the game. And then there goes Wildcard's money. There goes a bunch of money. Now, this guy, since he has had a negative experience with Ark, it starts spreading like a virus. I believe I spoke about this earlier. But let's say he has a friend who's like, hey, do you want to try out Ark or something like that? We can get it on Epic Games because they're having a sale or something, or maybe Steam. And then he's going to be like, no, because, well, the developers were mean to me. Even though this guy doesn't even know Spork is not a developer. He's going to believe it's a developer because he is in some way representing Ark. because this is a Discord server about Ark. So that he's going to tell that friend, and then it's going to slowly start spreading out as a virus among that friend group and community. So not only you're affecting one person that might refund the game, you might be affecting hundreds, which in turn equals hundreds of dollars. And now let's think about it. This was just one person. Every day people are getting banned and muted. Like, it may be only affecting one person at a time or 10 people a day, but that starts to spread to be thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people that are having a negative experience now with Ark. That's hundreds of dollars. That is so much money of people buying the game and wanting to actually be a fan of Wildcard. Now, this will even affect future games that Wildcard produces because Spork is ruining the reputation of Ark through this Discord. I'm not just saying this as a theoretical thing. If there's a company that has a bad reputation, are you going to buy from it? Of course not. If a company has a bad reputation, obviously there's going to be people that are going to boycott it. And that just doesn't happen for one game. This is their entire reputation. This will last for years down the line. And you're affecting children that still have many years to grow up. This will affect Wildcard's future games like Ark 2. Their animated series. These kids, they're going to grow up and then they're going to be like, well, I remember someone named Spork who pissed me off about Ark. Are they really going to purchase Ark 2? Are they really going to do other things? These are legit your future customers that will be doing purchases for Ark 2 or maybe your animated series. And Spork is ruining that reputation. Spork is truly ruining the reputation of Ark. Kids are on this server. They don't know this is not the official Discord server for Ark. And again, it doesn't say unofficial in the title because they didn't add it. They need to add it. They need to put unofficial up there. Otherwise, kids are going to continue to get offended that they got banned off of their favorite game's Discord. And then Ark is no longer going to be their favorite game. In the future, they will believe that Ark and Wildcard have a bad reputation. I love this game. I want it to continue its story. But when you have a growing base of people that are just wanting to boycott this game, or they believe that Wildcard has a bad reputation, it's going to spread to thousands, hundreds of thousands. Some people might just want to hate on Wildcard or Ark just because it's Spork who put those seeds of doubt and hatred in them. I don't want the future to be that Ark and Wildcard is a bad company. They're an awesome company. But right now, their reputation is being massively tarnished. And someone, please tell me, why are there people from Studio Wildcard in this server? Do you support Spork? Is that why? Look at this person, Zane. He's in here. He's not even a part of the official one. And he's not even a part of their charity Discord either. Zane needs to leave and actually join the official one if he is truly a part of Studio Wildcard. I'm going to quickly search this up right after I go to the next person here. Skittle, you're in here. Do you support what Spork is doing? Because you're in here. Are you a part of the official? Yeah, you're a part of the official one, and you're part of the charity one. Good. But why are you a part of this unofficial one? Are you supporting Spork? Studio Wildcard, if you want to take a stand against this unofficial server, ruining your reputation for your game, you need to leave this server, not be a part of it. So it appears that Zane is head of bug reports and lead repro man. What does that mean? And he has it labeled that he's the senior designer, and he's followed by Ark Survival Evolved and Cedric, their main official spokesperson, and looks like he hasn't done a post about Ark Genesis Part 2 that came out a couple days ago. So what are you doing, Zane? Why are you a part of the unofficial server? Now, Skittles looks more professional than Zane right about now. He is part of the QA team for Studio Wildcard. However, if you're a part of the QA, why are you part of the unofficial when there's nothing to even talk about there because people get banned anyways? Skittles and Zane, thank you for working on Ark, but you cannot be a part of the unofficial Discord when it's ruining the reputation of the game you work on. That makes sense, right? But you need to leave this unofficial server. No, you need to leave Spork's server. And I really can't figure out another reason on why you would be here when there is an official one. And Zane, why are you not a part of the official one? And like, I searched it up. Zane hasn't said anything in this chat. So why would you be here in the first place? I see that Skittle has talked mainly in this chat. But still, when you're a part of something that is ruining the reputation of Ark, it's going to bring your reputation down too. Both of these users, Skittles and Zane, need to leave. There could be more people in there that are part of Studio Wildcard that are in that server, but I don't know. I'm just pointing out these two because they're always online. You guys need to leave the unofficial server, or you are supporting Spork ruining the reputation of Ark. And if you haven't already, and you are a part of this server, leave it. Join the official server. Leave Spork's unofficial Discord server for Ark. One day, Spork will realize all these bans and mutes that he's doing, it's going to be for nothing, because nobody will be a part of this server, and now Spork will be powerless. But people need to leave this server. Now, I'm not the only person that is vigilant about what his Spork is doing. Someone decided to call him out. So I commend this person, Souza Kronos. He said, "You really think it's professional to use a word like that many people find super offensive so freely when you're supposed to be a role model for the chat." Extremely well said, Souza. Unfortunately, brave people like that don't last long, since Spork silences criticism. So he did a command saying, "who is Souza Kronos?" This brings up a user ID, and it also brings up when he joined Discord and when he joined the server. It also brings up the highest role, but doesn't really matter much. He did warnings, Souza Kronos. So he checks to see if they have any punishments of previous bad behavior. If none is present, we'll go on to the next picture here, he warns them. Disputing moderation in public channels. He gives this person a public warning for disputing moderation in public channels because he called out the moderator. What that means is he wants the Discord users to message the Overseer bot. It's basically a reference to one of the Ark bosses. This is a bot that is designed to message all admins and deal with unbans, warnings, and mutes privately. Unfortunately, it's another chat that Spork uses to insult whoever messages the bot. Now, I will be talking to this bot later on, but for right now, I just want to talk about Souza Kronos here. Obviously, anyone would feel unjust about the situation unfolding. He got warned for calling out bad behavior from a mod. So he called him, "Mate's actually pathetic." I'm not sure what you meant there, but maybe not gonna lie or something like that. So rather than ignoring it or deleting it, Spork decides to do this. Ban Souza, 7, troll disputing moderation public channels. So Souza calls out Spork for saying the R word. Spork decides to ban him and uses the R word. That just paints Spork in a bad light. And I caught this live. I'm sure Spork is kind of being a little bit vigilant about this, and he doesn't want people to see that what he just did. So he did !purge 4, deleted 4 messages. There's the command, and the messages have been deleted. Now, if we look back at the pictures I sent the first one at 1:30 p.m. and the last one happened at 1:33 p.m. when he purged everything. This happened over the course of 3 minutes, and as you can see, everything is back to normal. Nothing remained of the call out. What I wonder is, why is Spork allowed to stay in this power? Have the other moderators called him out for the behavior privately? I hardly see any other admin active other than Spork. Sure, there's a few other active admins. They don't do it like what Spork does. I haven't seen evidence of that. So why isn't Spork removed? This is extremely horrible moderation. So I decided to just take a look at the Discord server for Ark. And as we can see right here, already he's starting to warn people, ban people, warn more people, mute more people. Like you go into this Discord server and there's always something. Like, oh, look at that, Epic Games support. We already have more mutes. Wait, what is this? Mute 180 days? Constant rule violation, paying for deliberate and willful rule. What? He has been muted for 5 months and 4. What the hell? Was waffling between banning him or not, but he did potentially provide useful information. Even if he's a troll, he can't basic, like how Xbox isn't. So actually, yeah. Really? Oh, then he banned him. The fix for Xbox is simple. Don't waste money on Microsoft products. So you're a moderator for an Arc Discord server. That Arc runs on Xbox, and you're advising them not to buy Xbox or PC, I suppose, because you're saying Microsoft products. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Like, let's see, what's this? Brit. He talks to Brit here. Would an image searcher get me banned? Like if I make some code that scans my screen for red text and play a sound file, if that cheating. But as you can see, yeah, I can click on their profile. This is real. And he said, yes, automation is cheating. Oh, I won't do that then. Thanks for telling me, happy face. And that should have been it. And then Sporkwitch says, anything that is not built into the game or built into a mod that the server is using is cheating. As is obvious to anyone that isn't a cheating piece of like you. What the hell, Sporkwitch? And then he said, I thought it would be like Dododex or the Rust alarm thing. The only thing it would do is wake you up while you're asleep by setting an alarm on your PC. But if it's cheating and you can be banned for it, I'm not going to bother making it. I was just looking for information on it if it was bad, and now I know. By all means, set a timer, but if you're reading things like from the game and having it do something in response, that is obvious cheating to everyone but you. Dododex is just a calculator. You could do math yourself if you wanted to. It's not automating anything. And then he goes on further and then says, I hate how your generation is that you can't recognize obvious cheating. You are why people think wall hacking is okay. Don't even bother to finish what you're typing. All you're doing is proving my point. Just pull your head out of your and stop trying to find ways to cheat. If you don't play the game, don't play. What the hell? Okay, I'm sorry for asking. I'm surprised Brit is staying on the server. Brit, are you okay? Okay, you're part of the actual server. Brit, leave this server. And then someone says, just pay your little brother $5 to watch a screen. To be honest, Sport could have said that. And that could have been it. You could have been like, anything that's not built into the game or built into the mod in that server is cheating. And then say, just pay your little brother $5 to watch the screen. Just be like that. Simple. Done. And then Brit might get a positive experience out of it. Instead, he goes on a rage fit. Spork. Here, let me see. So I searched up Brit here. Yeah, Brit asked in here. He asked it on the official Arc Discord. So, yeah, they asked it here. Is K-Cam through walls or Dodex classes cheating? No, Brit. I mean, it watches your screen, plays an alarm to wake you up if something breaks or dies. Is that cheating? I wouldn't suggest any third-party software. I couldn't tell you if that counted as cheating or not, but adding third-party software is risky. So that is an appropriate response. Now, is Bach, this guy, is he a moderator? Are you a moderator? Well, that just proves my point even further, I think. You don't need a moderator to reply to that. Sport doesn't need to reply to this. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, there's another admin that is actually banning someone, but doesn't add the R word in here. Oh, look, we got a mute from Sporkwitch. Bot spam. Bot junk here? Who is Jack 3? Who is Jack? 2 years, 11 months ago, 2 years, 10 months ago, 3 years and 5 months ago. He's searching up a whole bunch of Jacks here. Who is Jack? Ban Jack, obvious alt? What? Obvious alt has been banned? What the It isn't my alt, I swear to God. Sporkwitch from Jack 3. Warn Jack 3 ping for no reason then. What? Ping for no reason? He did question mark. Those two were default icons, created 2 weeks apart, joined the same day, selected same platform. The other 3 Jacks look distinct. Is there a rule about having no alts? There's no rules about alts. I'm literally searching in rules and roles, and I searched up the word alt. My oh my. By the way, if you didn't know already, this announcement tab here You see how it says it's from Ark Survival Evolved Announcements server? If we go to the actual official Ark Survival Evolved server and go to announcements, it's the same damn thing, as you can see, like here. So we got, what is it? The reveal Genesis 2 theme music and key art. Now if we go to the unofficial one, the reveal of Genesis 2. So all this channel serves is a copy of that channel in here. So he's mooching off of the official Discord server. So I've been recording this on and off and just adding to it when I can. So today is May the 27th, and I just wanted to take a look at a few things. What you can do with Discord here is you can type in from, and then we can search up Spork Witch. So we can find every bit of information that Spork has said in this Discord that is from him. So what I want to search up is the word ban. How many people has he banned? Well, let's see. About 4,479. Just so you know, it's June the 7th now. So I did that stat thing back on May 27th. So it's been 11 days since that day, right? Here, let me take a look. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's been 11 days since then. And as we can see, the ban number has gone up to 4,670. So that means, however, I do notice he does say banned other stuff. Like there's 2. Let's see. We'll just go back until May 27th and see how many times. 3, 4, 5. So he did it about 25 times. So from 191, if we minus 25 from that, that's 166. In 11 days, he's banned 166 people. Now, if we divide that number by the how many days have gone by, so which would be 11, he has banned 15 people a day. Average. He is affecting 15 people a day, giving them a negative experience with Ark. And Ark Genesis Part 2 just came out. The next expansion came out. And he's banning people like this? If any of these people are new players, they could just refund the game. Spork is costing Wildcard money completely. What are you doing, Spork? And look, a lot of them, he's calling them the R word. More R word, more R words, more. And these are the ones he hasn't deleted. As I've shown you already, he does delete some of the bans that he does do. So I just want to show you between May 27th and June the 7th how many bans he did. And I believe on June the 4th or June the 3rd, Genesis Part 2, the expansion, came out. This is a time when new players are going to be joining Ark, and they're going to be finding Discords to find other users to join. Probably, right? So this would be prime time for Ark to have new players. So obviously there's going to be some coming into the unofficial Discord. So I just want to show you how many times Spork has banned people during this time. So on May 27th, the total number of his bans are 4,479. On June the 7th, his total number of bans is 4,670. So if we minus 4,670 by 4,479, and we also minus 25 from the total, because Spork did mention ban 25 times, but it didn't involve a ban, we get the number 166. So that's how many bans that happened between May 27th and June the 7th. So that's 11 days. So if we do 166 divided by 11, we get 15.09, which is 15 bans a day during this time frame. So this number of 15 people a day during this period where an expansion came out, that's the minimum amount of people he's affected per day. The maximum could be much greater than that. It's affecting hundreds of people a week, probably in the 20s every day, because that's all you see in the chat from now on. Now on June 21st, it's 4,878. So as we can see, there's a trend going on. So right now it's been 2 weeks since I recorded that stuff on June the 7th. I'm not going to include the times he just speaks ban, just because we know he has deleted many of those bans. So I can't even actually look at how many official bans there has been, because I'm assuming it's going to be much greater than whatever we're looking at. So if we do 4,878 minus 4,670, we get 208. Now, if we divide that by 14, because that's how many days have passed by, that would be 14.85. So we can do roughly 15. So still, it's 15 people he bans a day. That's still 15 people a day. Now, I would like to cover why Spork could be a financial loss for ARK and Wildcard itself. I'm only saying this theoretically, but the potential for Spork to be a financial loss for ARK is very great because of the amount of people he affects a day. I'm sure some of you people watching understand that reputation means a lot to companies. But why is reputation really good for companies? Should you have a good reputation with your customers? Yes, of course. Should you have a bad one? No. Are people going to buy from you if you have a bad reputation? No. ARK is having a bad reputation on many people a day because of Spork. Because people don't know this is an unofficial Discord server. Because it's not even in the title. How many times do I have to say that as well? It's so unfair in this unofficial Discord server that it makes people angry towards ARK. These kids that Spork is affecting are going to be wildcards, future customers. Because who's going to buy ARK 2? Like, how many years is it until it comes out? Well, let's say you got your average gamer who's 18 years old right now. And then let's say ARK 2 comes out in 5 years. Well, they probably already have a good working job. They probably won't have time for video games. They're going to be working their job and actually living their life. All right, let's go down a few years. 13-year-olds that Spork is affecting right now, that he's banning, and they don't understand this is an unofficial Discord server for ARK. They might think it's official. 5 years down the line, ARK 2 comes out. 18. They're coming out of high school. They're probably not in the workforce just yet. They might be going into school and they want to have some games on the side. Who's going to buy that game? Them. They're going to buy that game. ARK 2. Let's say they don't believe that Wildcard and ARK have a good reputation. They don't want to buy it because of the negativity that they feel around that game, because Spork has created those seeds that have grown and grown. They aren't going to buy that game. They aren't going to buy ARK 2. You, the viewer, might think this is bogus, but it's already happening. People are not wanting to buy ARK because of what Spork is doing. Already, I've shown you 15 people have been banned every day from May 27th to June 21st. Over the course of 26 days, 15 people have been banned a day. That's 390 people, and those are just the bans. I'm not even talking about the warns. I haven't even talked about the mutes in this video. In this timeline of May 27th to June 21st, there was a DLC that came out on June the 3rd to the 4th. So these obviously new people that are coming to the Discord, this unofficial Discord server, it's going to be people who have probably just gotten the game. And they probably don't know what Spork is like. So they've probably talked in the chat and possibly gotten muted, warned, banned. These are new players that can refund the game. And let's take a look at how much ARK is right now. ARK right now is $30 USD. If you want to get all the DLCs, that's another $30. So $60 for this game. This game is not a cheap game. It's $60 American. So if you affect one person a day through those days that I have said that they want to refund the game, one out of those 15 people that are banned a day, they want to refund the game and get a refund, how much money is that? And I'm only saying this is 1 out of 15 people. I'm sure this number is bigger. It might not just be just one person every day. But what if you just had one person every day between those dates who just refund the game? Well, let's see. That's 26 days, and I'm including May 27th and June 21st. So in 26 days, you affect one person every day. So that's 26 times 1. So that's 26 people. So let's say these 26 people who are about to refund the game just bought the base game. They didn't buy the DLC pack as well, so that would be $60. We're just talking about the base game. So this is $30 each. So 26 times 30, that's $780. That's almost $800 affected over the course of 26 days. And as I've shown, Spork is averaging 15 bans a day, and it's been happening between those dates. Do I need to remind you that this is during a DLC release? There will be new players here that can refund the game, and this has been happening for years. This server has been up since 2018, 2019, and then 2020 is when he started getting really bad. So you already have 2 years of this happening. So what's a year's worth of just one person being affected every day? So that's 365 times 1. So let's say those 365 people who are about to refund the game only bought the base game. That's $30 each. That's $10,950, which that's basically $11,000. That's a lot of money that Wildcard is losing out on. And I truly think it's more than one person a day. Spork can quite possibly be a financial loss for Ark if Spork doesn't stop his behavior of just belittling people in his unofficial Discord server. Wildcard will pay the price. And do note, I'm only theorizing this, of one person being affected a day by Spork's 15 bans a day. I doubt it's one person. It's going to be much more than that. Spork can possibly be a financial loss for Wildcard, which is the creators of Ark. Now, I would like to go over the Discord server rules and info. I would like to show you what rules Spork has violated. No religious or political discussions. Alright, just pause it at any moment if you want to read any of this. Need I say more? Next rule, no mass spamming. This includes sending unsolicited DMs to other users. Proof enough? No not safe for work content. Now, I don't think we need to go over the rest of these rules here, except the part where it says Discord Terms of Service, and the part where it says the enter key is not a punctuation mark. I'm sure throughout the entire video you can see that he has messaged multiple times, and he has made the enter key a punctuation mark multiple times. He has violated his own rule. But back to the other thing, I can already tell you he has broken that. He has broken some rules of Discord's Terms of service. You might ask, what terms of service did he break? Well, as you can see down by rules of conduct and usage, the first one says post, upload, transmit, or otherwise disseminate information that is objectionable as outlined in our community guidelines. Let's take a look at the community guidelines. Here are some rules for interacting with others. So do not organize, participate, or encourage harassment of others. Disagreements can happen and are normal, but continuous, repetitive, or severe negative comments may cross the line into harassment and are not okay. I'm sure you as a viewer can see that this rule right here has been violated many times. There has been harassment in this community, and there has been repetitive, continuous, and severe negative comments. So number 2, do not organize, promote, or coordinate servers around hate speech. It's unacceptable to attack a person or community based on attributes such as their race, ethnicity, national origin, sex, gender, sexual orientation, religious affiliation, or disabilities. First off, someone called out Spork, and someone called him an ableist, which is the discrimination of people who are disabled or mentally challenged, on the belief that typical abilities are superior. And Spork even called that person the R-word. And Spork has continued to use the R-word, the 6-letter word that starts with R. As of June 25th, it's been 822 times he has said it. Yeah, I would say he's hate speeching against people with disabilities. Religious affiliation, I don't know. Sexual orientation. Well, there are some really controversial things that he talks about involving sexual orientation. It's not particularly hate speech, but genders. There's some really big hate about that. So people who choose to not be female or male, there are some big words in here that I have included in this video earlier in the political section, non-binary and stuff like that. National origin. There is a little bit of hate speech. Well, it kind of involves ethnicity and their race, I would say, because he's really racist against Chinese people, especially when he keeps calling coronavirus the Wuhan virus, and what else does he call it? The China virus. Just because it's originated there doesn't mean you should call it that. Who knows? It could have originated somewhere else. Just coronavirus got big in China before it got big everywhere else. And there's just a huge section about how he talks about coronavirus. I don't want to really get into it because it's all in the political section, but there is one part where he calls Fauci, which is America's leading doctor, and says Fauci funded the Wuhan lab. And here, I'll even have it up on screen of what he said, and I just find it completely ridiculous. Alright, number 3. Do not make threats of violence or threaten to harm others. This includes indirect threats, as well as sharing or threatening to share someone's private, personal information, also known as doxing. I don't believe he has doxed, to my knowledge. If you have information about it, please come forward. To my knowledge, he has not done number 5 or 4. And then here are some rules for content on Discord. So number 6 here. You must apply the not safe for work label to channels if there is adult content in that channel. Well, you guys saw my not safe for work part here in this video. That was just before this section. There is no not safe for work tag, except for the spoilers one, because it's a spoilers channel. It's not there for the not safe for work tag. But that doesn't even matter because most of the things he talks about are not in the spoilers channel. Many of it is in the off-topic section, where he talks about his love for women parts. It's undeniable that he has violated this rule. And he has done it knowingly, since he has the Discord content rules up in his own rules. Spork has violated this rule in his own Discord ARC server. And if that hasn't disturbed you enough about him talking about women genitalia, what about the part where he talks about shootings and puts links in the chat about shootings? A 13-year-old kid could click on that, even though it's age restricted, right? But what about the parents? What about a 40-year-old clicking on that link? It could be triggering. But this is ARC. It's about It's about it's about your love for ARK, for this server. It's not a place where you talk about politics and all this not safe for work stuff and shootings, of course, especially to people who have lost people because of shootings. Why do shooting videos need to be in an ARK unofficial Discord? Number 7, you may not sexualize minors in any way. I'll just put this thing on screen and let you guys read it. I've already shown it in the not safe for work section. Number 8, he has not done to my knowledge. Number 10, he hasn't done to my knowledge. Number 11, you may not use Discord for the organization, promotion, or support of violent extremism. Now, to my knowledge, I don't know if he supports any of these that I'm about to be talking about, but the KKK. A lot of what he says in the chat about the KKK is sort of downplaying it. There's one part in time that he talks about there is a black member in the KKK. First off, why do you need to downplay the KKK by talking about there's a black member that joined it? Why does there need to be talk of just any of these extremist groups? Like, there is talk about the Nazis in there too. And I don't know if this part would actually be involved with this part I'm talking about, but like, he talks about how Discord is supporting a terrorist organization because Spork believes that BLM, Black Lives Matter, is a terrorist organization. And he says it multiple times in this. It's his propaganda that he talks about that BLM is bad. Like, he downplays KKK. He makes it look like it's not as bad. And then he calls BLM a terrorist organization. It makes no sense. So I feel like what I just talked about goes under number 11 here for the rules on Discord. Now, number 12, I don't believe he's done it, to my knowledge. Number 13, I don't know, to my knowledge. 14, I don't know, to my knowledge. Now I'm going to talk about some things that may fall into any of these categories that I just went over, but I didn't know where it could go. But I feel like it needs to be said because of what he talks about in this server. That seems inappropriate to be talking about it, especially when kids are present and adults. And this is also an ARK Discord server. Please keep that in mind. I went back to the day of the Capitol rioting, which was January the 6th of 2021. What I don't get is that the spreading of misinformation was happening a lot on that day by Spork. He said some Antifa kicked it off dressing as Trump supporters. So he's claiming that Antifa dressing up as a Trump supporter and doing the Capitol rioting. And then he's talking about there's BLM infiltration into this attack on the Capitol building. Please keep in mind, this is what he's saying on the day it happened and a few days afterwards. If you all watched the news that day, Trump gave motive to Republican voters to go and attack the Capitol building that day because Trump made people feel like the voting system is fraudulent. So in order to stop what was happening in the Capitol building, he got people to riot on it so Trump could possibly stay in power, which was a blatant attempt at trying to undermine America's democratic system. It's just spreading misinformation, which is getting on my nerves here. And then Spork's talking about people were allowed into the building for people to observe what the vote was going down. But no, they didn't allow anyone in. And I don't know why he wants to point the blame at BLM. BLM has nothing to do with this. It was Trump supporters who were rioting on the Capitol building. Like, he keeps talking about BLM. No, they did not infiltrate the Trumps. It's just the spreading of misinformation is so prominent in this server along political issues. Spork is just doing his propaganda in this server. And it's just to anyone that would hear him out, even if these are kids in the server. I would not want some random strange man talking to my child about BLM, about them rioting and being infiltrating Trump supporters. Like, where's your proof on that? You can tell that he does not like BLM and Antifa. It's just, it paints such a bad light. If people take offense to this, it's going to go straight to ARK and Wildcard. Now, in conclusion, I want to say that I love ARK. I love this game, but I know if Spork continues to do what he's doing on this Discord server, it's going to make Ark have less and less players. And if Ark has less and less players, Wildcard are not going to invest into Ark. They'll probably go some other direction. Spork is ruining the reputation of Ark through this Discord because of the propaganda he puts in the chat about his political ideology, all of the unnecessary swear words that he does, such as a 5-letter word that starts with R, a 4-letter word that starts with R, calling people the I word. I would say he's used F-bombs in there too. There are many swear words he uses on this server. How the rules don't actually apply to him. For example, no political issues talked in the chat, yet he's completely violated that one. How he talks about not safe for work in the chat, such as his love for female genitalia. How he posts about shootings in the chat that are age-restricted videos. How he talks about his love for redheads in the chat, and it's in a very sexually suggestive manner. All of his unfair bans, mutes, warns. He bans people, warns people, mutes people, even if they have not violated the rules. One example being, he's banned multiple people for having alts on this server. If he comes to the conclusion somehow that they are alts in his mind, even if they aren't alts, how people call him out for this disreputable behavior, yet they get banned or warned or muted. There's many things he does wrong in this server, and I've tried to list them as much as I can in this video. I'm sure there's plenty I've missed, because most of the time he just deletes it. So I can't actually get the proof because he deletes all evidence. But I feel like I've gotten a good majority of it. People are affected every day by Spork in this server. And on an average, 15 people are affected a day by Spork, especially during a DLC release, when it's prime time for new players to be coming to Ark, when they themselves could just refund the game if they encounter Spork and are banned off their Discord. I believe Spork is a financial loss for Ark, for Wildcard, because of his actions that affect new players and current players. It'll affect future people buying stuff down the line that Wildcard makes, because they will believe that Ark has a horrible reputation and they will boycott it. Now, if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you very much. But I'm going to do my outro a little bit later. But what can we do now? What can we do about this server? How can we stop this? I haven't given it much thought, but report this stuff. Copy any of these messages here and report it to Discord. If you've been affected by this as well, please comment down in the description. I would love to hear what happened to you. And hopefully I can provide some clarity on this situation, that you're not alone in this. Everyone is affected by this who joins this server. So in the description, you will find a Word doc that I have copied and pasted a lot of my hard evidence about what Spork has said that I believe is horrible to say. Like, he said the N-word. It's going to be in this Word doc. I'll post a picture and I'll post the link for it, the message link or whatever it is. I will be reporting that to Discord, because that shouldn't be said, especially by a moderator. I'll post the major ones in there that I believe are horrible to say and should have never been said, and obviously will violate the terms of service for Discord. Again, I really love this game, Ark, but I hate seeing its reputation being just completely crapped on. It's like every day you play Ark, it's always a new experience. It's one of the best experiences I've played with playing a game. And heck, I want to start it from start to finish again. It's awesome. It's a fantastic game. Now, if you are a part of this server, please leave it. Just leave it. Don't even type anything. The less people that are in this server, the less influence Spork has over the Ark community. There will be a day that this server won't have members anymore, because Spork, there will be no one for him to harass anymore on this server. He will be powerless one day. But the only way you can do it is by leaving this server. Join the official one. Join the charity one as well, so you can watch the charity streams that Ark does. That's awesome reputation that they do for that. But yet Spork degrades their reputation. Also, if you're feeling any emotion towards Ark that why haven't they dealt with this? Well, they can't. How do they remove Spork from power in this server? It's his. This is Spork's unofficial Ark Discord, not the official Discord. It's not run by anyone who's part of the official Discord. Ark can't really do much about this server. I've come to that conclusion. So don't put your blame on Ark or Wildcard. Know that they don't mean whatever Spork does, because Spork is not them. I had that feeling for the longest time, and I tried reaching out to actually Cedric, their, I'm not sure, community manager, but obviously he never replied, because what can he say? He can't really do much. Just if you're a part of the server, please leave it. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. It will help me reach other people that have also been affected by this server. And heck, if you want to make my day, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And if you want to feel extra special, please share this with one other person that possibly plays Ark, that probably has been in this server. Because at one point in time, this was the only Ark server around that had a good population of Ark players. They probably saw Spork's actions and understand what I'm talking about. And again, please do not go to this server to harass anyone mentioned in this video. I do not support that whatsoever. I'm sure most of you watching have been affected by this server. So please leave a comment of what happened to you down in the comment section. And heck, if you want to be a part of a Discord that actually doesn't ban random people for doing random things and talking about Ark, well, you can join mine. It will be in the description. This is a message for Spork. If you're watching this video, you really need to stop what you're doing on dishonoring Ark. You are degrading Ark's reputation, and you need to stop that. So smarten up and actually moderate a server. We can all see it, and I have all the proof in this video that you have done a horrible job moderating this server. If you're going to continue what you're doing, at least put unofficial Ark Survival Evolved up in the top left corner, or Spork's unofficial Ark Survival Evolved. If you don't want your actions to cause a bad light in new players' eyes and current players' eyes, then it needs to be pointed to you, not Ark. You need to stop this. If you decide to not stop what you are doing, then you need to step down from control of this server. Your harassment of the Ark Survival Evolved community ends now. If you come this far, thank you. Thank you for watching.